Okay, so Bread hates his story and won't tell me why, but I'm a fan,
Because
bro.
it's all untrue. Because it's all fake. Lying is against God's word.
The flight
Okay.
attendant
Educate him,
slipped me a napkin that said, "The pilot isn't who he says he is. Meet me in the back to talk." I
Why
knew
does that
she
sound
chose
so
tell me
freaky to
because
me?
of the military dog tags around.
Pause it right here. I've
What?
noticed that this guy in all of his videos has like a different kid. How much in debt is he in child support? And here he is about to give birth to another child. This guy's about to bring another child into this world.
My neck. I folded the napkin and slid it into my
That's what
pocket,
that-
and that's when the captain's
I guess
voice came
that's
over the
what
intercom. "Good morning, folks.
the,
This is
uh,
Captain Hopkins, expecting
that's
smooth
why the
skies to
tension's about to
Chicago,
get
but
her.
something was wrong. I could
What?
feel it in my bones. I waited 2 minutes and casually walked to the back, not knowing what to expect. The flight attendant was there with a man
Uh-oh.
holding up a police badge. The man
Uh-oh,
whispered,
two
"I'm
people.
glad you're
One
here.
last
I'm an
man."
undercover cop." I knew something was wrong straight away. The flight attendant whispered, "I've flown with Captain Hopkins for 6 years. I don't exactly know what's wrong, but I know that's not Hopkins, and we're flying the wrong way." She showed me the flight map of where we were heading. The plane is heading
Aw.
toward an abandoned airport. I leaned over the map. My body was pumping with adrenaline because it was the perfect place to crash a plane. There's an empty space above the pilot's room. I can climb up and listen to what
We'll call it Blue Eye Green Eye, and with a ginger.
It's heterocroism, I think.
We'll
Chill.
call it Blue Eye Green Eye with he's a ginger.
Yeah, this the scary heterochromic ginger man. Okay, our goal for the
Yeah.
video is to get Bread to be a fan, or at least
Hell
not, or at least not hate his.
the
He's a
pilot and
ginger.
co-pilot are
He's a
planning through the
ginger.
ceiling. Take my number. If you can tell there's something fishy going on, text me one word. Now,
Whoa,
that's the signal to
whoa,
move.
whoa, whoa,
And to
whoa.
distract
Pause it right
everyone
there.
while I climbed
Pause it
above
right
the...
there.
What?
A man giving another man his number in the back of a plane? That's why I don't like him.
ceiling, the flight attendant made an announcement on the speakers to tell everyone to keep their seatbelts on. Through the cracks, I could hear 2 men in the pilot's room talking. 15 years ago
Whoa.
today, our
No.
brother died because of Captain Hopkins. Now we get to crash his plane with him tied up on it while we impersonate him. I texted the undercover cop. Now, the cart slammed into the
Captain
pilot's room
Hopkins?
door. Cop kicked it open. I dropped through the ceiling and tackled the fake pilot out of his seat. The cop pinned the co-pilot
Somebody
to the
was
floor.
drunk
The
while
flight
leaving.
attendant grabbed the radio. "Mayday, our pilot is gone. We need help landing right now." She looked at me. "Find Hopkins, the actual pilot. He has to be on this plane somewhere." I sprinted to the back of the plane, checking every door. I yanked
Hopkins,
open the
please.
closet next to the bathrooms, and Captain Hopkins was inside with his hands tied and tape across his mouth.
In the
I ripped the
bathroom.
tape off. "Get me to the controls." He ran to the front and dropped into the pilot's chair. He grabbed the wheel. "Tower, this is the real Captain Hopkins. I'm landing this plane." When we finally landed, the cops dragged the brothers off in handcuffs. The flight attendant came up to me in the aisle. I pulled the napkin out of my pocket and held it up. "You saved 200 lives with this." She smiled and took it back. The flight attendant slipped.
You cannot be that
and not
des-
one went into
Huh?
200 people and not one went into the bathroom to see the pilot.
I don't know.
What?
Every time we heard a knock on the front door, my dad would yell, "Stealth mode," and we had 30 seconds to kill every light in the house. My brother and I would race through the rooms, flipping switches.
I know this.
Hold on, I knew it. Every single one of those videos is based off of one of those like shorts that like have no pictures or videos, but are just stories. I used to love those, and I know like every single one of these is based off. I just thought it was a coincidence. Like I know stories. Yeah, he doesn't actually make these stories. He looks them up online and he actually animates them and uses his voice. Yeah, does he credit anyone? Actually, no, he doesn't.
My
Huh?
brother came home crying with an
Huh.
F because
Let me check
every
this.
time we heard a knock on the front door, my dad would yell, "Stealth mode," and we had 30
This
seconds
is
to kill
another
every
reason
light
why
in the
I did
house. My brother and I would race through the rooms, flipping switches, yanking cords,
I know this guy. I know this original video.
Okay, one thing though, like 99% of those are just AI generated.
Yeah, but I know that original video.
Nah. Who cares? Let's just watch this, bro.
shutting off the TV mid-show while
Okay.
some guy outside banged on the front door yelling, "I know you're in there, buddy." Dad timed us. Once everything was dark, no talking, no moving, no
for-
looking
he's
out the
doing this
windows.
all
We'd
for
sit
20
there until
bucks.
Dad did his owl hoot, which meant all clear. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes almost an hour. Afterwards, he'd high-five us and go, "Real ninjas couldn't do better." He told us stealth mode was top
Do you see the guy? He's still at the door, bro.
secret. Never tell your teachers, your friends, nobody. Other people wouldn't understand. For years, I believed
Okay,
him. When I was 8, I Dad why we had to hide so much. He said some annoying guy kept bothering our family,
Bro,
and
this
stealth
entire
mode was
video
how
is
we
word
dealt
for
with him.
word
I
from
felt
the
proud we had a
original.
secret skill that could outsmart bad guys. By the time I was 10, I heard the voice
Guy has
outside
no
yell something about
creativity.
a bet and $20.
This guy's
I
probably
tugged Dad's sleeve and whispered,
he
"Is the
didn't
bad
word
guy
for
trying
word
to
from
steal
the
our money?" Dad,
original
shut.
story. He didn't word for word from this like original story. It isn't true, but it was like a story made to have like
Scare
so you can go
3-year-olds.
Yeah.
Okay, watch it, bro.
Pushed me so hard I flinched.
Okay.
When I was 12, I broke the window rule, peeked through the blinds, and saw a completely normal guy in a polo shirt standing on the porch rubbing his forehead. He didn't look like a criminal. He looked like someone's tired uncle. At 13, I told Dad
That's one hell of a description.
Yeah.
I was just going to
We
open the
need to
door
take the
and tell the
comments
guy to
from one
leave
of
us
these and see
alone.
if somebody notices that this isn't the original video.
Let's see. Let's see.
After we finish the video, though.
Talks about Michael Jordan. Shows a picture of LeBron. Bro, what? Bro avoided a bet for 12 years. A $20 bet. More than a decade he waited just for
was
20
right.
damn
I
bucks.
was right. I was right, bro.
The color left his face. You
knew I
absolutely
was
cannot
right.
do
I
that. That
told
was
you.
the first time stealth mode didn't feel like a game. By 15 or 16, it barely happened anymore. But when it did, Dad would peek through the blinds looking guilty. Mom just shook her head from the couch and muttered something under her breath. I was 17 and home alone when I heard it. I know you're in there. It's been 12 years, man. I opened the
It's
front
word for word, bro. Word for word. This guy lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion, and he's not even doing it. For no real reason, because I've seen the original video. Because he doesn't want to seem weak. You know what you seem like? You seem poor.
door. The guy nearly fell backwards.
got
Normal-looking
mine
dude,
not-
middle-aged, holding a crumpled piece of paper. "Oh, hi. Is your dad home? I'm his old college roommate." He held up the paper. "Your old man bet me $20 Michael Jordan wouldn't win his 6th ring. That was 1998. I've been knocking on
I want to
this
see
door
how
ever
many more
since." He
videos
handed me the IOU, both their signatures, right there at the bottom. I left it on the kitchen table. Mom saw it first and laughed so hard she had to hold the counter. Dad picked it up, read it, put it back down, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "So now he knows someone's home." Then he turned off the kitchen light and got under the table. We were never in danger. My dad just lost a bet because of the greatest of all time.
Hold on, check the comments again. I want to see if people realize that this is an original video. Yo, actually, you should add it as a comment that this isn't the original video, and he copied it off another video.
My daughter came home crying with an F because her teacher doesn't
There's a skull emoji in the title, bro. Lock in.
know what color blood is. The first time I realized something was wrong, Riley came home from school holding out her arm. "Look, Dad, you can see the blue blood in my veins right
Oh, I know another stolen video, bro. I might be more of a hater than one I got in here.
here." She traced the blue lines under her skin with her finger. I put down my coffee and looked at her. "Actually, sweetheart, that's not true. Blood is always red because of hemoglobin. It's just darker red in your veins." Her face scrunched
Where's his? Where's his story? This is just random guy. Random guy TY story.
up, but Mrs. Miller showed us a whole PowerPoint about it. She even had diagrams from a science book. The next morning, I packed my work scrubs in my bag. I'm an ER nurse at Mercy General, and I was working the afternoon shift anyway. I sent Mrs. Miller
Yeah, it might actually be stolen. Cause I've seen this.
an email asking if I could
It
do a
might-
quick presentation about blood for
might be,
career day
yeah.
that afternoon. She loved the idea. When I arrived, Mrs. Miller introduced me as Riley's dad who works at the hospital. 28 kids stared up at me from their desks. "I heard you guys learned that blood is blue inside your body," I said. The entire class nodded enthusiastically. Mrs. Miller beamed from her desk in the corner. I pulled out a blood collection tube from my pocket and held it up. "This is what we use to draw blood at the hospital. Notice something. The tube creates a vacuum. No oxygen inside at all." I paused. "When we draw blood
You're traumatizing these kids.
with these, it never touches oxygen until we pop the cap off." I showed them photos on my phone of sealed blood tubes. "See? Still red." Mrs. Miller's smile started fading. She
That's
shifted
it.
in her chair and cleared her throat. A boy raised his hand and pointed to their science textbook. "But our textbook says it's blue." I picked up the book and checked the publication date, 1998.
Why is everything in these stores from 1998? What was that crunch? What are you eating?
Nachos.
That was the most Looney Tunes crunch known to man. Holy shit.
Medicine updates pretty fast. We used to think lots of things that turned out to be wrong. Mrs. Miller suddenly stood up from her desk, her hands gripping the edge. Well, thank you for that interesting presentation, Mr. Johnson, but we need to move on to math now. I nodded and started packing when a girl in the back raised her hand. So our textbook is wrong? The class erupted in whispers. Mrs. Miller's jaw clenched and her voice got tight. The curriculum says, actually, I interrupted, pulling up the state science standards on my phone. I walked over and turned my phone toward her. The current curriculum specifically mentions this myth as something to correct. She stared at the screen and her eyes narrowed into a thin line and her nostrils flared. Can I speak with you in the hallway? The kids watched as we walked out and the door closed behind us. Do you have any idea how hard it is when parents undermine my authority? Her face was red and her voice was sharp. Now they'll question everything I say. I kept my voice calm. Isn't that exactly what we want them to do? Question things and learn critical thinking? She crossed her arms tightly.
Oh, bro.
I've been teaching for 22 years. I'm not changing my whole curriculum because some nurse thinks he knows better than our textbooks. The next day, I found out Mrs. Miller gave the class a pop quiz. Riley came home crying, her face red and puffy. Her hands were shaking as she handed me a paper with a big red F on it.
Why does it have one question, bro? What kind of pop quiz has one question? I'm like American and I'm not a British bruv like y'all, but like, that's like not a normal thing, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like...
That is not.
Teacher's just kind of petty for that, though.
I took a deep breath and felt my jaw tighten as I looked at the question. What color is blood inside the body? Riley had written red, and Mrs. Miller had marked it wrong. I requested a meeting with Principal Davis and brought printouts of medical textbooks, the state science standards, and Riley's quiz. The principal called in Mrs. Miller and asked her directly, is blood blue inside the body? After a long pause, Mrs. Miller said, it's what the children understand better. I leaned forward in my chair. My daughter is crying every morning before school because she's afraid of getting F's for writing down the truth. The next day, the school replaced their science books. Now whenever Riley learns something new at school, she comes home and asks me, Dad, is this actually true or is it just a Mrs. Miller truth?
I know your reactions are delayed because you're munching on nachos right now. Big back. What are these ads?
I became my school's hero for 1 minute before everyone watched what happened next.
Nobody cares.
Later.
Don't play around when it comes to Halloween, so during our school's Halloween dance, I dressed up in real firefighter gear from my dad's closet. Real jacket, real boots, real helmet. I strutted around the gym like I owned the place, until the fog machine popped like a toaster and the fire alarm went off.
Your dad is definitely a special kind of guy. If he has a normal body very similar to yours, and a helmet that is 10 times bigger than your head.
Everyone cheered, thinking it was part of the show, until I smelled burnt plastic. Teachers started waving their arms, telling everyone to stay calm. But I noticed the orange extension cord powering the machine didn't stop at the wall. It ran out the side doors and down the hallway toward the side.
What'd you say?
Imagine you get saved by that guy.
Science wing. Then someone near the door yelled, smoke in the hallway, and teachers started shouting for everyone to evacuate. Real sirens started wailing.
If you were a teacher, are you yelling at the kids to evacuate, or are you dipping instantly, bro?
I'm yelling at the kids to evacuate because it's only smoke. Plus, I'm gonna get hated online if I don't do that.
Okay, let's say it's like a huge fire then.
I'm running.
Outside and fire trucks pulled up. The crowd poured into the parking lot while firefighters rushed through the main doors. That's when one of them spotted me standing near the entrance in full gear. You, with us, he shouted. We're clearing the east wing. I opened my mouth to say I'm just a student, but he shoved a flashlight into my hand and pushed me forward. The hallway was dark and filled with smoke. We followed the orange cord past the lockers until it disappeared under Mrs. Carter's classroom door. One of the firefighters reached for the handle and jerked back. Hot, he said, then looked at me. Hit it! But I only had my foam axe. I swung as hard as I could and it bounced
The axe just breaks.
off with a pathetic squeak. The firefighter grabbed it, swung himself, and the foam bent in half. He stared at it, muttered, these damn budget cuts, and tossed it aside.
These damn budget.
That's when someone shouted from down the hall and he waved to the others. Forget this door. We'll circle back once we've got tools. They started heading back down the hall, but then I heard it. A squeaky wheel spinning frantically. This was Mrs. Carter's room, and the class pet Mr. Nibbles was still inside. I turned back to the door. The handle was glowing red. I wrapped my jacket sleeve around my arm and
That
threw
ain't
my
gonna do
shoulder
shit,
into the
bro.
bottom panel until it cracked open. Smoke poured out and choked me instantly.
No way Mr. Nibbles is the way you're like saving like 500 kids because of Mr. Nibbles.
The hamster cage was on the counter.
I would
and
have done the
tiny
same.
Flames were eating the papers around it. I grabbed the melted cord with my sleeve and yanked it from the wall. A spark bit through the fabric straight into my skin, and I screamed,
Ow.
but kept pulling until the plug came loose. I grabbed the cage with my smoking sleeve, and the metal seared into my palm. I could smell my skin burning. My lungs felt
Oh,
like they were
God.
filled with glass, and my vision was going black around the edges. But I ran. When I burst through the side door, I collapsed face first onto the concrete and threw Mr. Nibbles onto the grass so I wouldn't crush him. I could
Oh,
hear
okay.
cheering as hands grabbed me and someone pulled off my helmet. A firefighter was staring down at me. "Kid, you're a hero." That's when I heard the scream. I turned my head and watched a hawk swoop down, grab Mr. Nibbles.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I still hate.
So
I
bread.
still hate.
So bread. Has your rating for his story gone up any farther?
It's went down, folks.
It's okay. Well, that's all, folks.
Well, that's all for today, folks.